And I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. I just can't. I've tried everything humanly possible. I can't get there.
You're done. This is a no.
This is a no.
Senator Manchin has just killed the Build Back Better bill. He is unwilling to support it, and his vote is what is needed to get the bill to pass. I want to go over what this means for Tesla, as well as other EV companies, and why I think this is really bullish news for Tesla. Let's take a look at what Senator Manchin announced on Fox News.
The Build Back Better bill that is not coming up in the Senate before the new year, in part largely because of your reservations. Without you, the leadership doesn't have the votes it needs. So today, right now, what's the state of play?
Well, Brett, this is a mammoth piece of legislation, and I had my reservations from the beginning when I heard about it 5.5 months ago, and I've been working diligently every day and every minute of every day. I've been working on this, meeting with, whether it be President Biden, whether it be Majority Leader Schumer and his staff, whether it would be with Nancy Pelosi, all of my colleagues, from all different spectrums of the political spectrum, if you will, from the right to the left. I've done everything humanly possible. And my concerns I had, and I still have these concerns, and where I'm at right now, the inflation that I was concerned about, it's not transitory, it's real, it's harming every West Virginian. It's making it almost difficult for them to continue to go to their jobs, the cost of gasoline, the cost of groceries, the cost of utility bills. All of these things are hitting in every aspect of their life. And then you have the debt that we're carrying at $29 trillion. You have also the geopolitical unrest that we have. You have the COVID variant, and that is wreaking havoc again. People are concerned. I've been with my family. I know everyone's concerned. So when you have these things coming at you the way they are right now, I've always said this, Brett, if I can't go home and explain it to the people of West Virginia, I can't vote for it. And I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. I just can't. I've tried everything humanly possible. I can't get there.
You're done. This is a no.
This is a no.
I think that was a pretty strong statement from Senator Manchin. I don't really see him changing his mind about this. So the Build Back Better bill would have given up to 12.5K of incentives for purchases of EVs, as well as build out charging networks in the country. In my view, this bill would have leveled the playing field for new companies going into EVs, such as Lucid, Rivian, Ford, and GM. But I don't think it helps Tesla all that much. So number one, in terms of EV credits, Tesla is at a stage where they don't need government support. They're already profitable without any subsidies. Tesla has a supply problem, not a demand problem. We have delivery dates pushed back to July next year. Number two, charging networks. So the charging networks would definitely help the new EV companies and not Tesla, since Tesla already has a very comprehensive charging network. So let's hear from Elon what he thinks about the bill.
Well, I to be totally frank, I don't know if we, at least no one at Tesla has actually brought up whether they care about this bill or not. I think if this bill happened or didn't happen, I don't know. We don't think about it at all, really.
Okay.
It might be better. Honestly, it might be better if the bill doesn't pass. But just going back to that infrastructure bill for a second, because sometimes the criticism of Tesla is like, hey, Tesla gets all these subsidies. But it's worth noting that for the vehicle purchase tax credit, the $7,500, Tesla stopped getting that 2 years ago. Whereas everyone else, I think, except for GM, still gets the $7,500 tax credit. So all of our sales this year, and I think last year, had nothing to do with the tax credit because we were no longer eligible because we'd made so many electric cars. Tesla's made roughly 2/3 of all the electric cars in the United States. So Tesla's made basically twice as many electric vehicles as the rest of industry combined. We don't need the $7,500 tax credit. I would say, honestly, I would just can this whole bill. Don't pass it. That's my recommendation.
What about the support though for the charging network? I mean, there are parts of this bill and no.
No, I mean, do we need support for gas stations? We don't. So there's no need for this for support for a charging network. I would delete it. Delete.
Okay, all right.
I'm literally saying get rid of all subsidies,
And
but also for oil and gas.
if you think about also how this affects your competitors, does that impact how some of your view on this?
I mean, maybe they need it. I don't know. But I think just generally, I'm in favor of deleting subsidies. I mean, when we started Tesla, there were no EV subsidies at all, and gasoline was super cheap. We did not anticipate any subsidies. That came later, and that came the $7,500 tax credit came as a result not of Tesla activity, but of General Motors lobbying for it. I would just say just delete them all.
All right, but there's some other good things in this bill that some would argue. I mean, a lot of money earmarked for R&D. Would you want to put that towards something?
No.
Okay. All right. We're going to move on from the bill because I think we get what you're saying on it.
In general, we should just if we don't cut government spending, something really bad's going to happen. This is crazy. Our spending is so far in excess of revenue. It's insane.
So yeah, I think from that clip, you can tell that Elon doesn't really, give this bill that much thought. You can tell it's pretty clear that he doesn't think that Tesla really needs this bill. So, what does this mean for Tesla stock? I think in the short term, there may not be much direct impact on the stock price or maybe even a decline because generally I think this bill was viewed as a positive thing for all EV companies. So might even take a hit, but I think in the long term this is actually bullish for Tesla because the gap between them and their competitors will be much harder to close without the startups and Ford and GM getting help from the government. So I think these are really good times to add to Tesla. I had a video discussing about that, link on the top right section. So please check that out. I will be looking to add to Tesla. So yeah, take care all. I'm very keen to hear back from you guys on what you think of today's news.